Well, Slush, they do buckaroos. And how the heck are you as I grab my stuff here? I got a couple things I have with you. I'm going to do a sort of a mini Manhattan with you to start with. And I've got some coffee to drink with a little extra in it as well. So yeah, sort of a spin on a Manhattan. I'm using the Traveler. It's 90 proof whiskey. Typically, I could use a slightly higher proof, but it's at the end of the night. I figured out what the hell. And quite frankly, I don't dislike the whiskey. I don't dislike it, but for me, it's not really a neat drinking whiskey, right? It's not nuanced enough. It is made to do something with. Sort of one of those label whiskeys, right? Some pseudo star thinks they ought to be in the whiskey business, and they, oh, how about this? Okay, how about we do this? We'll take you around, let you pick a few things, make you feel like you're important, and we'll put a very average whiskey. That's kind of feels what we. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not horrible by any means. Don't get me wrong. But a decade from now, nobody's going to be talking about this whiskey because nobody's going to know who that star is anymore. That's kind of where we're at, right? But sometimes it's all about the products, right? So I used that whiskey that I mentioned, but I also used top of the line vermouth, the Grassalti, and then a couple dashes of black walnut bitters to bring out those fall notes. Anyways, boy, that is nice. If you can hear that jazz in the background, I got some Herb Alpert playing at the moment. It was mixed, I guess it's me Herb, but the song is Rise at this particular moment in time. Now, if Herb Alpert took any heat, it wasn't for his talent, it was for a lot of folks thought he was just of course, those very, very hardcore, jazz musicians thought he was a little bit too pop, a little bit too top forward, a little bit too commercial. And I'm not necessarily disputing that, but I am saying Herb Alpert doing what he did allowed other artists to do what they do. For good or bad or whatever, if it wasn't for Herb, I don't know that we would know about other artists that weren't quite as commercial. Or were, for that matter. I don't know that we would have ever heard of Chuck Mangione if it wasn't for Herb Alpert breaking that barrier. Trying to stay with that similar instrument, but we can bend instruments and say because Herb did what he did, it allowed artists like Kenny G to get where they were going. But I think we can also say, this is pure conjecture. Um, I think Herb Alpert bringing attention to jazz led other led folks to discover or make more available artists like Miles Davis, who was obviously more experimental. But I think listening to artists like Herb Alpert might have led folks to music fans, for instance, would have led them to artists like Miles Davis where they might not have found them before. Think about that for a second. Tom, that's absolutely ridiculous. Why would you say something like that? Because me listening to certain rock bands, certain musicians and rock groups led me to listen to other musicians. So Patrick Moraz led me to Chick Korea, which led me to Return to Forever, which led me to a Stanley Clark. Are you following where I'm going? Which led me to Al Di Meola, which led me to this, that, and the other. You find one artist that takes you this place, takes you that place. Yeah, I mean Herb Alpert could have led somebody to Dizzy Gillespie and then to Miles Davis, or you find an artist like Kenny G, for instance, which is very mellow. But I'm clearly not a Kenny G fan. But maybe you found that, and then you found John Coltrane. Maybe you found Lee Morgan. Maybe you found Tina Brooks from there. Whatever led you to that path is okay, I guess is the point I was trying to make. And I realized I went way, way, way around the barn to get there, but nevertheless. Uh, but nevertheless, that's nice. Nice, easy drinking, mini Manhattan, as you can see here. I'm going to finish this up, but I'm going to get to my coffee. So what I have here in this coffee, oh gosh, is a maple infused coffee I got from Black Sea Shines in Kimberling City. Oh, it's delicious. This would be a brilliant Irish coffee style coffee, but I didn't have any whipped cream, so I just you know I just went bare bones with this one. But I've got this great coffee with the Black Sea Shines pre-tap maple moonshine. So I got a little bit of this in there, about an ounce. I said a little bit, but I put about a shot in there with this brilliant coffee. This barrel age, my wife doesn't like whiskey. She doesn't like barrel aged anything. I've tried to, you know, I've tried to sneak in barrel aged coffees on her. She does not like them. But this one she tried at the distillery and liked it, so we bought some. And she's able to drink this stuff because that's how good it is. Other than one time at home, I did make it a little on the strong side. So I don't do that anymore. But it's a incredible coffee, man. Putting that little bit of maple in here, cheese whiz and bacon, that's brilliant, man. Oh, fuck, I get the gravy, and that's delicious. Now, I'll tell you something a little interesting. My wife and I did not become coffee drinkers until we were over 50. Think about that for a second. I don't know why. It just sort of happened. All of a sudden, coffee started tasting good. I don't know. I'm not sure what for both of us. Neither one of us were coffee drinkers younger. Both of our parents were heavy coffee drinkers and had drank coffee since, probably the day they could walk. It was a different time back then. But for us, no, we just learned all of a sudden at 50 it started tasting good. And now we're a little bit of coffee snob, right? We have to, it has to be good coffee. We grind our own beans, use a press, but now we're actually considering buying an espresso machine. That's how far down this rabbit hole we've gone. Holy crap. I mean, for relatively poor people, we're a little snobby on certain things. Yes, coffee as well as the beer and whiskey I drink. I'd rather drink really good stuff and drink less than really drink really cheap stuff and drink more. Not buying that can stuff. That stuff's nasty. Maybe you know, always thought, well, my wife and I've had this conversation. I've had this conversation with other folks. It's not always it's not necessarily that you don't like something, it's that you don't like that version of something, right? We grew up, our parents had this drank this very particular coffee. We drank and we hated it. But when we start buying better coffee, it's like, oh, huh, that's not quite the same now, is it? But see, now, yeah, we're considering getting an espresso machine so we can make our good stuff. 'Cause I want to buy good beans. I want to make good coffee, but I ain't paying $8. I'm not giving Starbucks my money. I'm not giving those other operations. No, hell no. I'm gonna buy the stuff, make it at home because I can do it better than they can. That's why we rarely go out to eat anymore. To be honest with you, okay, I'm gonna spend 40. We went out the other night for, or other afternoon actually, for our anniversary. It was a nice lunch. It was nice to get out, but we spent a certain amount of money that would have bought a lot of food, right? Damn, that I could have took that money and bought this. And that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, but I could have bought a. Oh, mercy. Lexi Shines at Kimberling City. I got to tell you, if you're ever in my neck of the woods, you got to visit. They're kind of off the beaten path a little bit, but they are in a tourist area. If you're going to Branson, it's not going to take you much to get over to Kimberling City. Black Sea Shines, I'll tell you, if you're a whiskey person like myself, or even a coffee person, I'm telling you the stuff. Everything out there really is that good. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor, wisdom man. All around good guys to lunch. Thanks for